What's up guys, I'm back with another video, and tonight, we are outside talking about the Qudos. This is a GoPro light from Knog, and well, it's pretty cool. It's so cool in fact that I decided to just use it as well as my GoPro camera to shoot this entire review. So we are outside, it is about midnight. We've got the Qudos hooked up beside our GoPro camera using the included T-piece, which allows you to mount your GoPro camera and the Qudos light to absolutely anything you want. So we're using that, and we're just going to shoot the whole review out here. So when you open up the box, the first thing that's very apparent is this is a very premium feeling, premiumly designed and well-designed light. So it's got a full metal housing, it's got pretty much glass in the front of it, it's got a really nice spring-loaded latch system, and it just has this really premium, expensive feel, and well, it probably should because it is not cheap. It's $119 or $120 right now, so it's a very expensive light, but you do get a lot for that. It has a power output between 70 and 400 lumens. That's really bright. Right now, I'm shooting about half of that power just over my face. It has 3 different modes. It has action mode, which is all the lights on, as bright as they go. A wide beam mode, which is what I'm using right now to shoot. It's called ambient mode, which gives a nice kind of more dispersed light, and then it also has spot mode, which is one very bright LED with a very focused spot mode, and of course action mode puts all of those lights on and lights you up just as very much as bright as it possibly can. All of those modes do have different modes within them. You can go bright or dim. And you also get in the box, you get the light of course, and then you get a mounting bar which allows you to mount the Qudos beside your GoPro camera. So you can mount basically the Qudos light as well as your GoPro camera onto absolutely any GoPro accessory you want without having to modify anything or use 2 mounts. It just mounts right onto whatever you want to use. Then it also comes with a cold shoe adapter which allows you to connect it to your DSLR if you want to shoot at night with your digital camera. Say shoot a interview sequence much like what I'm doing right now. It could be invaluable and provide you with some really great footage that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Then there's a charging cable, and as well as some mounting hardware for the camera, and then there's the battery. Now the battery is removable, so you can open the back of the light and pull it out, and the charging circuit's built directly into the battery. This means 2 things. One, it means the battery, if it gets old, you can order a new one, and it also means that you have the ability to buy spares if you're not content with the battery life of the camera. In terms of battery life, it lasts anywhere from 0.7 hours to 4.3 hours depending on the light output and the modes which you are using. Now, the Qudos is also waterproof to 40 meters, just like the standard GoPro housing, so I decided the only really fitting way to test it was to take it out and try it out underwater. So I took it down to a local marina and I mounted my GoPro as well as the Qudos to a pole, and I stuck it underneath the dock. This allowed me to test it out in half decent lit conditions where it's being used more as a fill light, and you can see that despite there being a pretty light day and the only real shade being provided by the dock that we're shooting under, the Qudos shots do look better. There's more light there, and because of that there's more detail in the shot. So definitely if you're going to be diving, the fact that this light is waterproof, it allows you to go underwater and light up your images, remove those shadows, and just get a higher detailed shot. There's a couple interesting things I've learned while using this light. The first one is that you need to use center weighted metering. Most of the light ends up pretty centered in the shot even when you're on wide mode, which means that you need to tell the camera that you want what you're lighting up to be what's being prioritized in terms of exposure. Otherwise what happens, you end up with a very dark background which you can't see anything, and then an overexposed image in the center. When I was doing this interview sequence or shooting this video like I'm doing right now, I actually had to use manual exposure to stop down what the camera is trying to expose to, as well as center weighted metering. So I'm 2 stops down, I'm telling the camera to record 2 stops darker than it wants to, and I'm using center weighted metering just to make sure that my face is exposed, and that is forcing the camera to ignore trying to expose the background. If I didn't do that, we would have a shot that basically blew out my face. You got no detail. You'd just see a white reflection where my face is, and then you'd see some detail in the background. This light is basically bright enough to use as an action light at night to use your GoPro camera to shoot nighttime action sequences. There's enough light being put off to kind of capture details in action sports, even when you start to lose light. If you're shooting in the shade, you can use it to remove shadows. You can use it as a fill light for kind of daylight and all those great things. But then if you also want to use it just as a light on a bike, you can do that too by combining this with a GoPro handlebar mount you would be able to provide basically a huge amount of light to be able to see where you're riding on your ride home. That brings us to the conclusion, and it comes out something like this. The qudos from Knog is expensive, but for that price you do get a really premium construction. It's made out of aluminum. You get some really bright LEDs which do throw a very nice kind of even light, especially if you're doing an interview setting just like this, or you can put it on that spot and shoot nighttime action sequences. So if you're looking for something to allow you to shoot with your GoPro at night, this is something I would be checking out. It's really small and compact, and it does have a fairly decent battery for its size. And I like the fact that it's waterproof to the same level as my GoPro camera, meaning that I can really take it anywhere I can take my GoPro camera. Guys, this was another video. If you've enjoyed it, please make sure you check out my channel and subscribe. Down in the comments below, let me know what you thought of this review, as it was my very first action camera light review. If you want to see me do more of them, make sure you tell me down there what you want to see, and let me know how you would like me to see me test these kind of lights in the future. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.